Now, another thing that we have to consider is that children are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. Children are able to figure out the difference of fantasy with violent video games and reality. A prime example of this would be us telling children their entire lives that Santa is real, when we obviously know he isn't, and we even go as far as dressing somebody up at the mall to look just like Santa and tell kids that he's real this way. Now, eventually, even though the kids are exposed to all of this, they're able to figure out the difference of fantasy and reality with Santa not being real. Now, if kids are able to figure out something like that, they're being forcefully told their entire lives, don't you think they can figure out the difference in the fantasy of a video game and reality, where they're being told that the fantasy in the video game is not real? Can't we give them enough credit to be able to figure these things out for themselves, or even directly tell them that these things aren't real? That we can tell them that it's not okay to commit these acts of violence in real life. Children are probably going to listen to something like that. Now, what I've shown is just a few prime examples of the way that children can be influenced with violent video games, and yet how violence rates are down at their lowest in the last 40 years with the youth, and yet video games are at their highest. With video games at their highest and violence at its lowest, it shows that children are not out committing these acts of violence, and that when they are, they're very, very few of those examples, and they're years apart from each other. With so many kids playing video games and the issues of violence being so small, it should show that there is no direct correlation between the violent video games that kids are being exposed to and the acts of violence that they're committing in real life. Any aggressive behaviors that are being shown in studies are very short term and do not have any real life situation merit. They're not being exposed to the same things in real life that they would be for the video game. There's no connection to a person who's playing these games.